Hello, everyone. Welcome to Go Global World, the 15th event. It's been a success so far. It's incredible. Over 2,000 people participated in our events. This is a weekly pitch event for startups from around the world with invited investors who are here seeking for great projects to potentially invest. And here we achieved so many great conversation and so many connections so far. Over 100 connections have been made. Actually, almost 150 according to my calculations. Now, to make sure that this event goes smooth and efficient, I have a few slides to show and small announcement to make. Welcome to Go Global World. In front of you, the new second version of our product, and you are the first in the world who are seeing what we are building. And here is the platform that is investor first platform to save time for finding the right relevant deals. Investors are creating their profiles for startups so they can apply it, and the system will help them to identify if it's a good fit or not. Why it's important? Because we spoke with many investors and they say we are overwhelmed with communications by email, LinkedIn, and many other means of communications, and only 1% of startups reaching out to us is relevant. So the system is automating this problem. And so we will take this 99% of relevant startups and will distribute it to relevant investors. And from other investors, the irrelevant traffic of startups will be distributed to these investors that if that would be relevant and decided by the system. So this is first an announcement. And the second, that startups are winning here as well, because startups will have their stunning one-pager that they can share with investors, the only key information investors are looking for. And if startups will go to investors page to apply for funding, the system will automatically decide if you fit or not, and you don't have to fill out the same forms all over again, answering the same questions all over again. It will be just one click. If you fill out at least one form, we will remember that. And you will never, ever will have to answer the same questions again. So you will apply with one click to hundreds of investors, and the system will help you to make sure that you are reaching out only to relevant investors. And you already enjoyed our matchmaking system. Now we have a lot of matches already with real startups, real investors, all verified. And we are matching not only startups with investors, also investors with investors, startups with advisors, and we are not stopping there. Now, tonight, we are launching on Product Hunt, and Go Global World have been a support for you for already 3 years. So today we need your support. And so please follow our announcement later tonight and support us on Product Hunt. But it's not only just an upload. Share your love in the comments to us, because it's so important. Let's make our product the product of the year. I would be super grateful for any support you would do. If you share it on your network, it would be even more fantastic. Now, GGW Sharks, the 15th. Let's see who are the investors today. We have Zamir Shukho from Vibranium VC, Bill Reichert from Pegasus Tech Ventures, Angelica Morrone from DSAM Limited, Duránd F from M&D Ventures, and Reese Schroeder from Allstate Strategic Ventures. I'm so excited to have all these investors. They will present themselves in a second. Now, let's find out who are the investors today. And we have a very nice crowd of investors invited from around the world. And let's start from Bill Reichert.
Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it. Delighted to be back. Looking forward to hearing the pitches. I'm a partner at Pegasus Tech Ventures, which is a global venture capital firm with over $2 billion of assets under management, headquartered here in Silicon Valley and offices around the world. We invest very broadly across sectors, across geographies, across stages. So we're very, very broad and very, very flexible. We've invested in over 250 companies, several of which have now become unicorns for investors in SpaceX and space tech and 23andMe and life sciences, in material sciences, in, of course, IT, AI, robotics, and manufacturing. So pretty broad-based, and very much looking forward to hearing the pitches today.
Fantastic. Great to have you, Bill, with us. Zamir Shukho, you're next.
Also mute, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, hello everybody. Greetings to my colleagues, judges today. Glad to see you all. Hello startups and good luck to you all presenting. I'm Zamir Shukho. I'm a GP and a founder of Vibranium VC Venture Fund. We invest in B2B SaaS companies located here in US or relocated here if you are a foreign founder. Typically, we like to come in on a seed stage, early stage, help you to get to Series A and follow on. And we would invest up to $500,000 in you in our first check. Prior to doing venture investment, I used to build accelerators. So worked with thousands of founders globally and helped them build sustainable businesses across the world. Glad to be here and see your amazing pitches. Good luck.
Great to have you, Zamir, with us. Angelica Morrone, your turn.
Hello, everybody. Greetings to my fellow judges. It's great to be back. I haven't been around in a while, so it's always wonderful to feel the energy. I am coming to you today from Lugano, Switzerland, where I am based. I come from the world of finance. I've been a hedge fund manager most of my life. About 10 years ago, I started concentrating on angel investing. So I go right before Zamir does, I guess, the pre-seed stage and seed stage. I tend to prefer companies that are doing something impactful, not necessarily ESG impactful, but whose product or service is changing somebody's life. My vision is to accelerate impactful capital so that I can leave a legacy that transcends generations. So I'm looking forward to hearing all of you and help me achieve my legacy. Thank you.
Fantastic. Love it. Great to have you, Angelica, again with us. Duránd, your turn. I like your hat.
Am I audible to all?
Yes.
Yes.
These AirPods, they're not always the best. Yeah, so my name is Duránd Davis. I'm a 36-year-old entrepreneur / venture capitalist. I started angel investing when I was 17. I was the startup founder of the year 2016 in Detroit. My firm now, M&D Ventures, is a partner firm with my wife. The M is for Maya, the D is for Duránd. And we're stage agnostic, we're geography agnostic, and we're founder background agnostic as well, because we know that there are a lot of biases that exist with investing in founders that may not fit a homogeneous relationship of the investor investing. And in addition to that, we recently launched a $10 million fund. It's called the Prodigy Fund. So we're ready to invest from that fund expeditiously. And my background is pretty different. I'm a musician, so I play the drums, the piano, the guitar. I have a background in finance as well. So I kind of mix the arts with academia. So I have a gauge differently on how products can work from a brand experience. In addition to that, I'm a fashion designer. Doesn't say the least about what I have on here. And I'm excited about hearing the founder. So thanks, Daniel, for another great event.
Thank you, Duránd. Great to have you again with us. Everyone, please keep yourself muted all the time. And Reese, your turn.
Hello, everyone. I am Reese Schroeder, and I am an investor with Allstate Strategic Ventures. Allstate is the largest property and casualty insurers in North America. We're very much a strategic investor, and we invest in areas such as enterprise SaaS, deep tech, frontier tech, cloud and edge computing, data management and analytics, mobility and telematics, and then cybersecurity and identity protection, and last but not least, insurtech and fintech. So we have a very broad mandate, Series A through C investor. And this is my first time here, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Reese, and great to have you with us. Welcome to our event. And before we get started, I just have small rule.
Hey, Daniel, I forgot something. So founders, so we invest in what we call the earliest stage. So that's hatch for us. We can invest in your idea if it's on a napkin. We're fine with that, but you have to be that very prolific founder. If you're doing e-commerce and we don't see you as the person that can beat Jeff Bezos, then there's no way we're writing a check with you with your idea on the napkin. But we like to be that early. So perhaps we can help you get to a pre-seed round or join an accelerator, but we definitely invest in companies that have pre-product as well. The check size varies, so that's something that we'll discuss during due diligence, but we invest at that stage. That doesn't mean start sending me emails with your concepts. So we have a pipeline, how we gauge that. My wife, she normally handles that, but I thought it necessary to emphasize that. Go ahead, Daniel.
Thanks. Yeah. So Duránd sometimes says they're investing even on a napkin stage. So I love this kind of phrase. Before we get started, just small thing to say, everyone. Please keep your real names in the Zoom. I see some weird names. So if you don't have real name, you will not get a chance to pitch. That's first. And if we don't really understand who you are, you will be taken out from the event. So it's only for verified people. And if you don't know who is in here, you will not get a chance to be here. Please change your name here. You can edit it right away. It's important that we know who is here. Now, let's get started. I am welcoming the first people, the first startup on the stage, which is AC3D, Boris. Boris, are you ready, guys?
Absolutely, happy to be the first.
All right, so you got 2 minutes. Please be on time.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Boris. I'm founder and CEO of AC3D, 3D printing construction automation technology developer who is making construction cheaper, faster, and more efficient. And as you know, construction is the biggest industry in the world. It's like $14 trillion, but even bigger the problems which are created by construction industry. For instance, the global housing shortage is more than 12 million houses a year. And even bigger are the ecological problems, because construction is responsible for almost half of the CO2 emissions and is by far #1 global waste producer. So construction, 3D printing and automation technologies are here to tackle these problems, because you can print an entire house in just under 3 days, and just one 3D printer can print up to 100 houses a year. And you can do it at least 50% cheaper, with such new qualities as CO2 reduction, lower waste, freedom of architecture, and resilience to disasters. So in our startup, we have already developed, patented, and produced our industrial 3D printer. We have actually produced 2 of them, one for the US market and one for Dubai, where I'm calling you from now. So this is, we call it next generation machine, because it is modular machine with adjustable printing area. It can print up to 3-story full-size houses on site, or it can print panels off site. And what is more important, we are using a fully cementless concrete, which makes it absolutely like a net zero material. And so our first houses will be net zero houses. And we're starting to print the first house this summer in Dubai. So as for the traction, we have been selected for Alchemist Accelerator. We have completed our seed round, and we are now willing to rapidly expand. And I would be happy to share more details on our startup and team and advantages. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great pitch. All right. What's your questions, guys?
Yeah, you didn't mention how much you're raising. How much capital are you raising? What's the ask?
Yeah, my legal advisors told me that I have to ask if there are all accredited investors in the room. But yeah, right now we're raising, if I can say, if Daniel lets me, it's $1.5 million at 30 million valuation cap.
It's a safe note?
Yes, it's a safe note. And we have already raised 1 million at 20 million valuation cap, and $500,000 from this current round.
So if I understand this correctly, you're suggesting that equity is going to convert over maybe in the north of 5%? What's your gauge on that?
Well, if I understood your question, we're preparing for Series A next year, and our goal is to get 100 million valuation by that time.
Okay, I'll return. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah. I mean, long before I care about your valuation, I care about your competitive advantage here. And so my question, I mean, you spent about 1.5 minutes talking about construction and 3D printing, and we've all heard about construction and 3D printing. What you didn't help us with is a compelling differentiating value proposition. You know, you say you're net zero, maybe that's okay, but you didn't tell us how much cheaper it is to build a house with your approach. You didn't even tell us if you've ever built a house. Have you ever built a house?
Yeah, I've mentioned that our first house is going to be built here in Dubai this summer.
Okay.
Yes.
In other words, you have not yet built a house, right?
Yeah, we have completed 2 machines and we are building our first houses, and we have done sample printings and mechanical tests. So we know it's net zero. We know, and I would be happy to comment on our technological advantage.
Yeah, please give us a couple of sentences on why are you better, different than all of the other 3D printing house companies that are out there, right?
Yeah, so the machine is as I said, it is completely modular, so you can adjust printing area. The length of the buildings is unlimited because we are based on rails. Also, our printing head is one and only because we are mixing the material right inside the printing head, so avoiding the hoses problem, which is true for all our competitors, and it's one of the biggest problems to tackle. Also, we are working on the machine vision control system, which automatically adjusts and controls the printing quality, the geometry, everything online, while all our competitors, they have to invest a separate person to constantly monitor printing quality. Also, our machine doesn't need heavy lifting equipment to be installed because our portal is erected by special winches, and it makes it easy and fast to install without additional costs, which are required for our competitors. And also we have automatic alignment system, which helps to align those rails on different surfaces, not only perfect, even construction sites. And as I said, we can print both off-site and on-site, thanks to the modular arrangement, and we can place multiple printing heads on one and the same rail, so we can print entire communities. And well,
okay, good. So good. Why didn't you tell us this instead of talking about the construction industry? And now I need you to
one of my investors told me,
tell me, how much time do you save and how much money do you save compared to your closest competitor?
Well, I think that to our closest competitor, we save maybe 20% cost and up to 50% time.
Okay, that's helpful. Okay,
I'm happy to tell you about this.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's helpful. That's interesting. So thank you for that. So okay, now I get it better. I get it better. So thank you. Other questions? I'm sorry.
I have one quick question on the size. Do you have a size limitation on the kind of house you can build?
Actually, no. So while our printer is one of the biggest, it's like unlimited lengths, 12 meters width and 12 meters height. We also can print panels, and we are now talking with American, one of the biggest builders of logistical centers. So we are discussing building panels, which will allow us to print like unlimited size of houses, because when you do panels, it's like a Lego. And because of the freedom of the architecture, you can print those panels with interlocking systems, and it's like, and you don't have to actually move those panels far away like traditional precast factories, because you can make a mobile micro factory near the future building, and that will save you also the logistical costs.
Okay.
What's the average cost of the house?
Pardon? Can you say
of a house?
Average
cost of a house that you manufacture?
Well, it's like average cost of a car actually, but because it depends on the size.
All right, give me the range.
Maybe you can give us the square meters or square feet so that we get a good gauge on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the cost of 1 square meter of a house, including foundation with 3D printed walls, windows, and roof, would be $500.
Good. That's good. So a way to frame that, Boris, would have been to say the house we're building in Dubai is going to cost X dollars. Using traditional methods, it would have cost Y dollars. Right? And that would have answered, Reese's question, spot on, right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So Boris, go ahead, Zamir.
No, please go ahead.
Zamir, you
no
have
questions. No questions.
Okay, so Boris, about your background, are you an engineer? Like, tell us a little bit about that, quickly as possible.
Sure. Well, I have 5 years. I was distributing for 40 countries radioactive cancer treatments, like cancer monitoring and treatment systems. So it was complex logistics, medical certification, US, Canada, Japan, so all the complex countries, European Union. Then I have like 5 years in industrial 3D printing. I was the distributor reseller of 3D Systems, which is the biggest 3D printing company for metal and other technologies aside from construction. But then I decided to combine those two experiences and start my own startup in the global perspective. And that's where I am now.
Okay, so lastly for me, here's a bit of feedback. I think you're very passionate about the specificity and the science behind what you're doing, but you didn't really do a compelling job of helping me understand. You didn't walk me through the pathway to business. You spent most of the time, to Bill's point, talking about what you know about the industry and what you're building, but I had no gauge on your customer. I had no gauge on what's your positioning in the market.
Can I answer this really briefly? Can I answer this really briefly?
Yeah, but but as you would imagine, there's other founders in here that actually want to pitch. So I don't think you would want to take their time. What I'm actually conveying to you is something that you can take back home as far as homework. You have to be able to nail that very fast. What do you do? How do you position yourself in the market? What type of proprietary elements you have, if any? Here's my sales pipeline, and save the rest of the technical stuff for us if we want to dive deep on that. Because just assume that the investors have seen a lot of pitches and they're very smart people. We need to know exactly what you do. I don't even know at this very moment who's your customer what's your customer profile? How do you actually sell to an individual? What's that timeline of that actual sales? If you have any sales for that matter, because you focused on the wrong portion of the pitch. I always say this: great idea, bad strategy. So I think you need to go back in and strategize around your pitch so that it can be salient to an individual like me, because I don't even know how to give you a logical answer because I have no idea exactly what's going on with your business.
Thank you for your feedback.
All right, thank you so much, Boris. And this feedback, please never take it personal, everyone, because we are here to help, and you are doing great. And so the next person is going to be Bob. Bob, are you ready to pitch? Hello, Bob.
Who's up?
Okay, Way Hunter, class share. You next. You ready to pitch?
Yes.
All right, you got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Hi, I'm Way Hunter, founder and CEO of ClassShare, an online education and entertainment platform for kids that help them build successful career paths. Did you know 85% of the kids ages 8 to 17 on social media, and 30% of them dream of being influencers and actors? However, there are very few companies targeting these specific audiences, leaving little opportunity for them to shine. That's where ClassShare comes in. We're building an online learning and social community that empowers kids through education and entertainment. We're also helping them monetize their skills. Our unique value proposition is that we are the only company combining education, entertainment, and a multi-channel network. The obtainable online education and entertainment market size for youth is over $22 billion, and the total addressable and our revenue streams include online courses, community subscription fees, film and commercial productions, enterprise sponsorship, and marketing and advertising for companies. Over the past 2 years, we have over 200 paid customers from all over the world. We pivoted our business model in December 2022, and since then, our revenue has doubled each month, with over $10,000 in revenue in March. Our core team members are parents with 6 kids, and we have combined 50 years of experience in business development, marketing, and content creation. We all share the same vision and have proven each concept in our business model. Now we are ready to take off and become the next Disney. So I invite you to join us on this journey and invest in ClassShare. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So what's your questions, dear Sharks?
So I'll start. What is the target age of your customer? And then can you maybe tell us your top 2 or 3 courses that you're offering?
Our target age is 8 to 17.
Okay.
And we offer different classes, but the most popular courses are acting, around acting. That's why we are training actors to be influencers and help them monetize their skills by advertising and marketing, do commercial productions for companies. So we are providing our students job opportunities by providing the services to companies.
Okay, I understand now.
I don't quite, by providing services to companies. So wait, so I'm almost there. You're going to teach my 8-year-old to be an influencer for
Now.
for a brand, for a brand. I mean, but where's the company come in?
Where the what?
You said something about helping companies. Did I hear that?
So
Okay.
This is our journey, okay? We started last year by just providing online courses like acting, improv, money management, entrepreneurship. And then we find all those kids wants to be also influencers because some of them already have very good, social media presence, have thousands and tens of thousands of followers and YouTubers, right? So now we just launched the 2B services this year. So we are helping companies because we already have production company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're connecting the kids with companies and taking as a agent for influencers. Is that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's one of your models, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Very, very clever. I guess there are certain parents that are happy with their 8-year-old becoming.
There are many. If you go, there are many.
No. Okay, I think I get it. Zamir?
Yeah, I have a question. Now, this topic has been pretty popular in EdTech community. I've seen startups working with kids, teenagers, teaching them how to be influencers, video production, YouTubers, etc. So it's been going on for maybe 5 years for sure. I've seen the very first ones because we did an EdTech accelerator for many years, and every batch that we had at least 1 or 2 projects working on similar things. My question to you would be, how would you differentiate? Because otherwise it will require a lot of marketing money to kind of stand out and get more students. And second is, what geographies are you targeting right now? What is your primary market?
Our primary market is in North America right now, but we have students from around the world, like Europe, Israel, and those kind of countries. I don't see that many companies are doing the same as we do because we are a production company. We have produced 5 short films that entered into 9 different film festivals. And that's what the kids who want to be actors want. They want to be able to, participate and play a role in a film. So that's why I see my logo, Film for Kids, is a community we just launched. So we create film opportunities for kids. I don't see any other companies doing this. Yeah, that's the step 1.
So that was a little bit unclear. You're both training them to be social media influencers, but you're also training them to be actors, which are different things.
Yes. Like, as I mentioned, we are training them to be actors right now. But in the future, we will become a multi-channel network, MCN. That means if we incubate kids to be influencers and do the influencer marketing for companies. But that's not happening right now. But right now, we are training kids to be actors and produce films and commercials for them.
Sorry, go right ahead.
No, by all means. Go ahead. Angelica, go ahead.
Thank you, Duránd. So what I want to give you just a little bit of advice, just because it's I think it's always helpful if you can take home 1 or 2 things that you can improve on. First of all, I would have much appreciated if you were not reading your pitch, because when you start reading your pitch, you're not looking at me, I fall asleep. because I don't get any connection to you. So it's very important that even if it's a shorter pitch, you really work on that. Secondly, exactly as you were saying before, it's better that you explain your business model as it is today in 2 minutes. It's very difficult to make me fall in love with something that you will do in the future. So it would have been better for you to concentrate on that. And thirdly, because unfortunately I got distracted because you were reading and I started doing something else, I don't know how much you want. If you can repeat that, that would be helpful.
How much I want means how much we are asking for investment. Okay, we're asking for 500K for the pre-seed safe note, and with 15% of discount. Our valuation right now is $3 million.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason I read the pitch because I just got your invitation this morning.
Okay, well,
So I prepared this
for the future. It's okay.
Yeah, I prepared this pitch in the last 1 hour.
No, it's just that, you know, it's very important that you connect with us. It's already difficult to be online, but you need to connect with us. If you're just reading, you're losing that connection, okay? Just for the future. You're right.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Angelica, it sounds like my wife. Every time I'm talking to her, she starts falling asleep. She don't want to hear what I have to say. I have to work on my husband. I have to work on my husband pitch. I got to tell you.
Work on your husband pitch.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm familiar with this space. I'm gonna be honest. I don't get it because, as far as I'm concerned, the adults shouldn't teach the kids. The kids have it figured out. I'm a father of 7. I have 5 teenagers. I have a 9-year-old and a 1-year-old little girl. So I love talking about kids because I have so many of them. Choose one. It's a line of them. And they don't need my wife and I as assistants. This type of stuff they come to us with, how they really understand TikTok, how they demystify these apps and these different features. They grow pack stuff. They teach the companies how to actually build out their features. The prospects of you teaching kids, as far as I'm concerned, the adults are going to immute a lot of biases on those children, which actually could limit their creativity. Because the idea is to actually just look at them, experience them in those early years, and then give them guidance based on the wisdom. The second part of that, the monetization, well, I hear what you're saying, but then what happens if ICM partners come in or CCA and say, hey, we already have a pipeline for these children. How are you going to convince the parents that they should go with you? And CCA is convincing the parent that, hey, we're going to have this person with DJ Khaled tomorrow, like literally like this. In fact, we'll call DJ Khaled now. It's going to be a very hard uphill battle because the film and the music industry is treacherous. It's like worse than the casino mobs. It's just something that's impossible to break. It's impossible to break. So I get the product that you want to build, but I don't think you probably have taken a big gauge of the cultural implementation that's in that industry. And I'm here in LA. They don't want to talk to anyone. They tell you no 7,000 times before they tell you maybe. So the idea of you thinking that you're going to build something out and they're not going to come in and say, yeah, we don't like what she's doing. So here's the thing. We're going to offer free services to children for the next 10,000 children and connect them with all of our, they'll think about it. They can launch a .org. Hey, we have a .org now. Holly Berry and all of them are going to come and talk to the kids once a month for free. Now, this may not happen, but this is how I think when I hear people not communicate their defensibility adequately. So I don't get it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Come on, Brad. Way is the Jerry Maguire of influencer marketing. Okay, she's building it.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's impossible for you guys for such a 2 minutes to understand exactly what I'm doing. I think it takes time to, and also you can take a look at our website. And I can tell you this.
Thank you very much. We gotta move on. We have 17 more projects. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate that. 17 more startups willing to pitch, and it's just so much time. We have to put everyone in just 1 hour or so. Now let's move on and the next project.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if any of the investors would be interested, we will be connecting you. Course. Now, the next project will be Natalia Cano, Doco Kids. Natalia, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, 2 minutes for you. Go for it.
Okay, so I heard already that many of you are parents. I bet all of you have been with your kid at 3 a.m. in the morning, not knowing what to do with a fever. So what options do you currently have? You can go to Google and Google will give you a catastrophic immediate answer, or you can try to make an appointment with a pediatrician that, let's be real, in the world, it takes weeks or months, but the fever is happening now and you have that problem now. Or third, you can try going to the emergency room, although that and other questions are not necessarily an emergency. Like you, there are 160 million parents in Latin America with this types of questions, not only about fever, but rashes, diapers, and nutrition. In DocuKids, we've already answered 80,000 of those questions. So what is DocuKids? A friendly, affordable, caring pediatrician in everyone's pocket, answered through WhatsApp, which is the most used messaging tool in the world. We monetize in 3 ways. One is direct to consumers. If you go to our website right now, you'll see the price in dollars, in Colombians, in pesos. 10% of our clients already come outside of Colombia. Second, directly to corporations as perks or alliances. And third, to educational institutions, because they also take care of our kids and they also have daily questions about this. We've grown 20% month over month. Last year, we attended Techstars that helped us find and perfect our product market fit. And we're in our first pre-seed round. We're looking for 1 million, which 300K are already in the bank. In the 2 minutes of this pitch, 500 babies were born in all the world. We want them all to go with milk, diapers, and most importantly, a subscription to DocuKids.
Okay.
Perfect pitch. Great. Thank you.
Good.
Who is in or out, dear Sharks?
Who is sorry?
Yeah, I can try to go first because I have 3 kids only, not like Duránd, but I still consider myself a pretty good father. But there is a problem, right? To access to to a doctor right away, 24/7, etc. My question here is the liability. Like how do you screen the doctors? Who are those doctors? Like are they practitioners? Do they have licenses? What happens if their advice goes wrong? Who's responsible? Is it your responsibility? Is it doctor's responsibility, etc.? So there's a lot of potential problems in this area. So just wanted to understand how you work with that aspect.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very common question that I get. During the pitch, I did not mention, but I'm a pediatrician board certified both in the US and in Colombia. And that I think has helped me understood the system and how the system works. Under the Colombian law, and we can talk about each individual law of each thing, but I don't want to bore my colleagues that are presenting here. But basically, under the umbrella, there is like teleorientation and teleconsult. We stay in teleorientation. And this, like what we do is like we help parents like navigate and orient. Do you need to go to urgent care? Do you need to go to an emergency room? Like, can you give Tylenol? We do not prescribe or diagnose, and that helps us with liabilities. We do a big filter of who the pediatricians are, but not only that, because we understand how the pediatricians are trained, we've lived it ourselves. We also provide training to these pediatricians like on a weekly basis, and not only about pediatric topics, but also about customer service. And there's a lot of studies in communication that the best communication that you have, the less liability that you have. So far with the 5,000 clients that we've had, we haven't had any issues, but we do have like a very solid legal background on what you do for terms and conditions, also to help us build. We do it from both sides, like proactively and from the legal side to protect us. I can go in more depth.
Yeah, no. So Natalia, I mean, the telehealth playbook has been well developed all around the world, right? And so this is a good thing. I'm not criticizing. What I'm saying is presumably you have learned from all of the other telehealth companies around the world, kind of what works, what doesn't work. I'm also assuming there are a bunch of telehealth companies in LATAM. I'm not directly familiar with it, but I've heard, I've seen and we've invested in telehealth, sort of in North America. So I'm assuming that there are other telehealth companies in Latin America. I hear you focusing on pediatrics. I think that's clever. I think that's an interesting sort of specialty. But what playbook are you following? Is there, I mean, can you identify the playbook? Right.
Yeah, I love that question. Thank you for allowing me to answer it. Because what we do is not directly telemedicine. We're not transcribing a system that doesn't work, that we all have been victims of, like that doesn't work, to a digital world. What we're really transcribing is a conversation, a fluid conversation. I bet the 5 judges that I have sitting in front of me today, all of you have been a moment like, I want to ask this question to a doctor. What we allow is to have fluid conversations with your doctor. Or if you leave the doctor's appointment and you have a questions, right now, like in the US, many hospitals have my chart, right? You email that, you text that, and it's like 2 days after that they answer, right? And you needed a question to know if that pill you can take with orange juice or water. So what we do is allow those fluid conversations. It's being a pediatrician, friends in everyone's pocket. And like in pediatrics, it happens a ton. Should I put sunblock to my kid? Should I put bug repellent? In winter, like what's the snow? Like what do I do with the snow? Can my kid touch snow? That's questions have actually been asked. Like, can my kid use a pill? So it's a lot of that orienting when you are having kids it's a little bit different from like the physical consult of 15 minutes. What's your problem? Here's your prescription back.
Okay, understood. And by the way, so side point, we are going to be running a Startup World Cup competition in Colombia later this year. I don't know if you saw us down there last year, but I do want you to apply to pitch at the Startup World Cup when it comes to Colombia later on. So are you in Bogota? Where are you?
I am in Bogota, yeah. Traveling to Miami next week, but currently in Bogota, yeah.
Okay, love it. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Zamir?
It's just a very short question from me. Now, typically investors, they invest in technology, right? So right now, just to understand, do you have a path on building your own platform? Because using WhatsApp is probably a first step of just making sure your concept is working, right? And you're getting the traction. But eventually, you will need to have some kind of a tech behind it in order to get venture investment. So
we're looking for, one of the things we're looking is to build our own platform to answer, but we do want to continue to answer through WhatsApp, and that's a very intentional thing. Just to give you an account, like in Colombia, 96% of the population has WhatsApp, 97% of the population is vaccinated. So WhatsApp is literally reaching the most rural areas. When you buy a prepaid plan in cell phones in Colombia, it includes WhatsApp, but it doesn't include data. So putting our own platform would limit us who we can answer and how we can answer. And in Colombia, we've already had people from 26 out of the 32 departments, we call it the states departments, already use our service. And those people would have not been able to use it if you put limitations like building a platform. So we do want to do it through a channel that people are already using. If you ask anyone in this list, that is Latin, what is the app that you've used the most today? They will say WhatsApp, and it's where we buy groceries. Even like in Mexico, you do the driver's license through WhatsApp. We do use like a third-party platform where we communicate, and we want to build that platform, our own platform, but I can see all the conversations, and like I have all the dates of birth. So I would say like, oh, you have 3 kids, like, which kid are you asking about? Which one is the one that he has fever? Which one is the kid traveling that you have the question about? Like that is already something we have, but it's a third-party platform, and we want to build.
Just a short comment here. So, my problem here would be, when we invest in companies, we typically invest in a product which has, IP or a patent, something protected. Here, I mean, I see the business model. I see that this can generate revenues. It can be maybe an interesting dividend business, but I don't really see it yet as a venture growing, scaling business, raising rounds after rounds, because the tech is absent at the moment. I mean, you're dependent solely on WhatsApp, and WhatsApp belongs to Meta, right? So you're increasing their traffic, which is good for them. But the question would be like, how?
I can give an example. Right now, we're going through Zoom, right? We all have conversations through Zoom. Right? You as an investor, where do you use? Do you have your own platform where you have these conversations? No.
Well, that's a question I ask. I ask startups that come to us, for example, saying we organize online events. we use Zoom for now, but we're building our own video platform, not to be dependent on a third-party app. And then, we understand that this is going to be their product, their IP, and they're going to be developing and competing with Zoom eventually.
Yeah, we want to build our own platform where we connect. We can connect through Telegram, WhatsApp, but the concept of being easy to the customer and being customer focused, which is why we've made the decision at the moment for WhatsApp. It can change in 5 years to another thing. That's where, like, I think we differ in opinions. I believe that WhatsApp is the channel that right now is getting to most people, and that's how I want to get. The technology that we have, and what I think it's exceptional, is that the technology that connects to this, but allows me to answer quickly and maintain margins of up to net margins of up to 80%.
Right.
Yes, her defensibility is her network effect, not her technology. I mean, building a network of high quality pediatricians and building a network of families and generating organic growth. I'm not worried about the technology. I'm worried about the, organic growth. And I'm pretty confident that you play this right, you can generate decent organic growth through the parent network and through the pediatrician network. So I'm hoping, that you can just keep growing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone's comment, and I love the hard questions as well, because it makes us think on like the.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And we're moving to the next startup. It was a great pitch. And if any of the investors would express interest to connect with you, definitely we will connect you right after the event. And Reichert just shared their event that's happening in Colombia. Please check it out. It's really cool. This Startup World Cup is a famous event and great opportunity. Now, moving forward, and the next person is pitching. I'm taking only those who having the full names, the first name and the last name, because I'm not sure who is this with just first name. So please fix it on Zoom. The next person would be Anna Moland from Bicest. Anna, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, I'm Anna. I'm one of 2 technical co-founders at Bequest Finance. I'm currently calling from San Francisco. We're participating in the HF0 incubator. We had our demo day last week and currently raising a seed round for my company. So I'm going to talk to you about the trust and estates industry, which is a gigantic, boring industry with amazing net profit margins that's just begging to be innovated on. So last year in the US alone, it generated $197.9 billion of revenue. 55% of that was net profit margin. So that market inefficiency is the opportunity that we're chasing today. The trust industry also sucks. So the average person is going to go try and get an estate plan set up. They spend thousands of dollars, hours of their time, end up buried in complicated paperwork that they don't understand, when they can achieve the same result from their own home with just a few clicks for pennies, and it'll take minutes of their time. So the way that we're solving this problem is by creating blockchain rails for the trust and estates industry. This is one of the only cases where blockchain and smart contract technology actually makes a lot of sense, especially because the whole trust industry is hinged upon the determinism that you're paying for from your lawyer. You can actually mimic that in a smart contract. So our wedge into the industry was to start with digital assets. So right now we have a product launch for cryptocurrency assets, basically what's going to happen to your cryptocurrency when you die. For 80% of people, the answer is that it's going to stay locked up because you are dealing with private keys and you can't just give access to your, there's no centralized component or centralized entity that can just give access to your wallet once you've passed away. So for 80% of people, their assets are going to stay locked. That's why $200 billion worth of Bitcoin is currently locked in wallets forever. And for the other 20%, the answer is something along the lines of, I'm going to give my private key to one person and then count on them to be able to retrieve the assets and distribute them. Obviously, this doesn't scale. Based on our market research, everybody who was using that solution was unhappy with it. So we've created the first solution for cryptocurrency assets that is legally defensible and compliant. We've been audited twice. We're available internationally, and we are expanding beyond that. So we're looking to go into all asset types, all digital assets. There's a new set of laws that got passed actually a couple months ago by the Universal Commercial Code that are allowing us to do this. And we also think that we can tackle the trust and estates industry in its entirety because determinism kind of is law in this case. So currently, law firms and leaders in the estate planning industry are lining up to partner with us. Our AUM has doubled week over week for 6 weeks on our B2C portal. So we launched 6 weeks ago. We've been doubling every single week since then. We launched our B2B portal last week, and we have 3 law firms that are looking to get contracts with us to use us as part of their service offering to clients. Yeah, that's request. Thank you.
Great, great pitch.
So all right, so go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
So Anna, I was love the energy, love the positive, great energy, great positive, speaking style. It makes sense what you're saying, but it just feels like trust in a state for blockchain assets is such a corner case. The bigger picture is, you had me going there in terms of the bigger picture. And then crypto assets, I know that's where you're starting and you want to improve, you want to go from there. Do you have any validation that you're going to be able to cross over and do sort of the base case and not just this corner case?
Yeah, for sure. So let me address a couple of things. Firstly, this is no longer a corner case. The average crypto user is 38, married with kids, high income for their country. The market has aged into this problem. Our current serviceable, addressable market is worth $600 billion. So this is definitely not as much of a niche as people think it is. And that's kind of to our advantage. The industry has—
Yeah, but you're not the only solution. You're not the only solution, right? Okay, go ahead.
We actually, sure. So if you want to look at our competitors, we're the only ones who are non-custodial. You can keep trading using your assets as usual with us. We're the only ones who are legally compliant and defensible. We're available on every single chain. We accommodate Web 2 users, so we're bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3, making Web 3 safer. We're not trying to brute force against the SEC or federal governments. The future of Web 3 is going to hinge on companies like us that are kind of compliant and working with other people. For your second side of the question, so there's a new legal standard called the Controllable Electronic Record, got passed in North Dakota 2 months ago. We're going to be working with controllable electronic records to create negotiable and bearer instruments digitally. This means that your Instagram account can become transferable, any social media accounts, electronic property titles, URLs, kind of anything that exists electronically, all of a sudden we can support. So we're building out and working with a law firm right now called NICA. Our primary law firm is Fenwick. So we're working with NICA right now to build out that infrastructure. It'll be ready in a couple of months. So this is 100% compliant possible. We're the first ones to kind of be using these laws. And so we're iterating as fast as we can.
Okay. Good. Okay, I'm sorry, Duránd, go ahead.
So Anna, you mentioned that, are you located in Canada? Or is the company in California? Where's the company located?
Yeah, so my co-founder and I are Canadian, but we're incorporated in Delaware.
Okay, got it. Now, so where are you guys stationed?
Right now we're in San Francisco. We're doing an incubator.
Right now, does that mean you're going to stay in San Francisco, or your intention to go back to Canada?
Yeah, well, I no, we'll be staying in the US. We'll be moving around a bit. I have to attend a bunch of legal conferences over the next few months, but it seems like we're going to probably end up in Miami or New York to benefit from the time zone and the crypto communities there.
Got it. So one anchoring question to my final question. Are you a software engineer?
Yeah, I am.
You say, okay, great. So now we can talk. I'm a software engineer as well. So what you're suggesting is interesting. What's the point of the blockchain if you're going to be connecting to Web 2? And I get why you would want to connect to Web 2, because you want to be able to have that asset class transferable as well. But why are you actually utilizing the blockchain? People mix cryptography conversations with blockchain. Why are you utilizing the blockchain?
Right, for determinism and peer-to-peer networking. So right now,
those are marketing terms. Like, explain to me exactly step to step why you're utilizing the blockchain.
For sure. So right now, if you look at trust and estates, lawyers take 4% executor fees for no reason. You can mimic that with determinism. All you're paying for is them promising, like, I will behave the way that the kind of rules we set out in this trust want me to behave. Why would you pay someone for that? Just make it a smart contract. It's going to happen exactly how you want it to, 100% of the time, guaranteed. So that there's like this kind of like really nice marriage between. So
blockchain. So your business model. So your business model is blockchain, where you're going to provide a sufficiency in cost for the individuals that would have otherwise paid X amount of dollars in the Web 2 world. But you found a solution in between that middle minutia where you could say, hey, we'll save you costs. And in doing so, you can make a fee on saving that cost.
Yeah, so we are like insanely less expensive than average solutions. So like, to give you an example, you can generate a will with us for $39. The average cost in like the regular world is anywhere from $250 to $1,000. So we're significantly less expensive because all that we're paying for is a few cents of gas fees, right, on chain. So
Okay,
it's significantly less expensive, and it's much.
You're so Anna, hold on, Anna.
For
The only reason I keep interrupting you, not because you're doing a bad job, because the way that this works, we have to get so many founders. I love your pitch, by the way. So it's not it's not rudeness. It's just we have to ensure that we can maximize the time. So I agree with Bill. You don't have anything now that's defensible from a technological perspective, me understanding the entire pipeline. And perhaps you should lead with that. Like, we're utilizing the blockchain to provide a better business model for individuals that would otherwise pay X amount in percentage for transferring their assets. And we found a small little white space in a business model. And perhaps you can find defensibility in that pathway. But as it stands technologically,
legal defensibility. We have legal defensibility. So if somebody forked our smart contracts and tried to use it just like with their protocol, they would get sued. So the legal defensibility here is very important.
That's very speculative, but I'll say this so we can move on. I am interested. So Danielle, I'm interested to talk to this founder. I would love to connect with you.
All right. So one shark is in.
There's no legal defensibility for that.
There is. I swear. I'll explain it to you. I appreciate it, guys.
We shall find out.
I'd like to connect as well. You know.
Okay, 2 sharks are in, 3 left. Who is next? Reese, Bill, Angelica.
I'm gonna count on Duránd and Zamir, letting me know.
Okay, we'll connect you guys. So 3 sharks in. What about Reese?
I was just going to say, I think it was a really good pitch. I don't think it's really a fit for us, but I was going to say one thing. You were rattling off like all the advantages and differentiators. When you do that, really focus on the ones that mean something, that are of value to your audience. A lot of times you talk about, it's end-to-end solutions, things like that, and that doesn't really have value. So just think about that when you're talking about your differentiators.
Sure. By the way, we're raising 1.5. We have 525 committed. Done. Thank you.
Good job.
Angelica, you're the one.
Just wanted to let Anna know that it was a great pitch. I like your energy. I like where you're going with this. It is not the right fit for me, but I look forward to hearing back because I always like to follow successful people, and I think you'll go.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
And we will connect you. So thank you, and great job with your pitch. We're moving to the next startup, which is Bob Witkov from Emmet Surgical. Bob, you ready? Bob?
I am. Thank you.
All right. You got 2 minutes. Let's go for it.
Okay. Thanks, Danielle, for having me on. I spoke about 3 months ago. I'm Bob Witkov. I'm founder and CEO of Emmet Surgical, and we are transforming the way that surgeons and pathologists work together to achieve successful patient outcomes, while at the same time reducing healthcare costs. I'm a cancer survivor, and when I was treated roughly 15 years ago, it was clear to me that surgeons and pathologists who were treating me were not on the same page. I did some research. I found that the problem, a problem in the medical literature since the end of World War II, over 75 years, and solving that problem has been my mission. So we've created some products. They're called True Margin. They are an in vivo, ex vivo tumor mapping system. That's fancy medical language for a map of the tumor bed itself and a map that's identical on the tumor, so that when surgeon's looking at it and the pathologist is down the hall, across the street, in the next building, they can speak to the same exact features and details on the map. I've demonstrated True Margin over 500 times, and in each and every case have been told, and that's the surgeons, not to the lay people, they don't get it. But to the surgeons and the pathologists, they tell me it's brilliant, and they ask when can they get it. When can they get it is 12 days from today. We announce the product and launch Emmet Surgical and the product at the American Academy of Breast Surgeons annual meeting in Boston. That's a very high, well-attended, prestigious event in the breast cancer lumpectomy area, and we'll be demonstrating product there. We have 2 versions of True Margin, one for open surgeries like breast cancer lumpectomies, and the other for minimally invasive and robotic surgeries. We have a very strong IP strategy. One of our early investors is a prolific patent troll, probably one of the most well-known in the patent troll world. He has been very helpful in guiding our IP strategy and filings. We have a very strong pharma and medical connection. One of our another significant early investor is the family office coming out of Teva Pharmaceuticals. We have some other new products that are down the line that we started doing R&D on and have filed patent applications. That's for colonoscopies and gastroenterologists and colorectal surgeons. You know, right now we've run an angel round. I was the angel. We raised $300,000 on a friends and family round. So call it $800,000 invested to date with a $3 million post-money valuation. Investment bankers tell us that valuation should increase to 3 to 4x after the launch, and you know, when we're shipping product in the next few months. I have two alternatives for investors.
Hope you pass time. Let's wrap it up.
I will, thank you. Plan A is $2 million focused on our true margin products, sales, marketing, building inventory, and regulatory approvals in the UK and the European Union. Plan B is another $3 million added on to that raise, and that focuses on this gastroenterology colonoscopy product I mentioned. So I'm sorry for going over. That's the story. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you. All right. Your Sharks, any questions?
Well, okay. So, Bob, I mean, you spent 3 minutes and you're still making me guess what your value proposition is. So my guess, you said, that surgeons love it because you can map tumors. I'm guessing that why surgeons love it is because they know where to cut, where not to cut. But is that the value proposition? Is that
the value proposition is to reduce the number of what are called resurgeries, and it's kind of technical, but simply is in the case where too much cancer is left behind in the surgery for chemotherapy or radiation to destroy, a resurgery is required. If a better surgery is done up front and all of the cancer is effectively removed, that's the value proposition. We're eliminating that second surgery. In the case of breast cancer, Bill, that's 4 to 16%, depending on the hospital, the country, etc.
So, but I was right? It's where to cut, where not to cut.
It's actually enabling the pathologist to tell the surgeon where to cut.
Right. Okay. So, but you never said that, right? And so all of us, I mean, I'm willing to bet everyone here knows stories about cancer surgeries where they left some cells behind and blah, 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 right? You spent 3 minutes and you never cut to the chase, so to speak, okay? So, in terms of the core value proposition, I get it now. Now then the question is, why is it that you're better at seeing where the true margins are, where the boundaries are? Why are you better at seeing where the edge is between the tumor and healthy cells than anyone else?
So we're not better at seeing the edge of the market, edge of the margin. There are companies which have raised and burned through hundreds of millions of dollars trying to come up with a solution like that, and I'm happy to send you a list of those. Okay. Our solution basically creates a map so that the surgeon and the pathologist looking at what has been removed is the best set of eyes, and then telling the surgeon exactly where to cut more. And of course, this is an iterative process.
Okay.
There are tools on the market that claim to point a little sensor at a tumor and it's going to tell you the exact
margin, whatever.
The reality is they're smoke and mirrors at this point.
Okay. I get it. And you're launching literally next week, is what you said. Is okay
on the 26th.
Okay, where's the regulatory line for you in terms of what do you need to achieve in terms of regulatory?
So we're a class 2 product that is receiving a 510K from FDA. So in the US, 510K, in European Union, MRD, every one of the other territories has their own name.
Right. Okay. Wait, you do have 510K, or you're planning on getting?
We were supposed to have it on the 20th of this month.
Okay.
FDA just sent us a letter asking for 2 more tests. It's going to take us 30 to 45 days to get those tests done. Once we submit the test based on the stage we're at with FDA, we get the 510K.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're very simple tests.
Okay.
Are there more questions from the Sharks? Okay, so thank you very much, and great pitch. Stay with us and be moving to the next startup. That is Vlad Shetinin, Pickle. Vlad, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me, guys?
You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Hey, everyone. We're building Pickle, which is all-in-one platform and application for pickleball players and communities. For those of you who don't know, it seems like somebody does, pickleball is the fastest growing sport in US right now. That has been taken over of anything else, even more than soccer, basketball, anything. And actually, before this call, before this project, we've made an app that unites not just pickleball, but tennis and paddle. That was the initial idea. And I myself have a tennis background. I played for over 20 years. I played for Division I University in Nevada in Reno. So we came together with the team and decided to make an app for all the racket sports. But then we saw the way that the pickleball market grew. So we put together an app separately for that. And before that, we achieved about 2,000 active users for the first project that was named Tennis Assist. For pickleball, I've served over 25,000 members, which is different communities. And this is how much, that's how many people I got committed to trying out the platform that we've built once we release the community functionality. This is what we're working on right now to make sure that people are able to go on to create their communities, to launch and host tournaments. And essentially, the app is also helping you find a partner to play with, a coach, a court nearby. So it's an all-in-one platform. The app itself is free. The way they were planning to monetize it is by having subscriptions for additional user statistics, for access to exclusive tournaments, as well as taking 10% from revenues that are generated by the tournaments that are organized through the app. And we make it as user-friendly as possible. Our valuation is $5 million pre-money. We're raising $1 million. We got so far $25,000 from one angel, and last week we got another $50,000 check. We are a US-based company. I think I've covered all of it.
All right, good job. Yeah, Sharks, your questions, please.
Short comment from my side. I have a tennis court right next to my house, so most of the time people play pickleball there. And 2 versus 2.
Sorry.
Yeah, and the sound is very loud, much louder than tennis, but it's not in our direct focus. I think you're building something really cool. I'm happy to talk to you and maybe give you some guidance and mentorship. And we'll look into it. If you ever try to develop a B2B side of that business, that could fit into our investment profile.
Right, One Shark is in.
Possible. B2B is possible, as we can partner with all the different stores and different clothes brands, because it is a platform, right? It can promote the things on the map, interactive map. So it is quite possible, and it's something we're looking forward to do.
I know that the sport is really taking off, but do you have any other competitors out there that you're aware of?
Yes. So the main competitor is Duper. It has about 100,000 users, and it just got its funding in February. And it mainly serves as a rating system. So if you ask anybody who's into pickleball how you rate yourself, they will tell you I'm a 3.5 on Duper. But this is the only thing they're strong of. As I've served multiple communities, and some of them are from there as well. Not everybody's happy with the system, so I'm pretty sure there's more room for different companies on the market.
Yeah, I'm struggling to understand how you make this addictive. I mean, I can find local pickleball courts, and I can find pickleball friends, and I mean, it's I'm trying to figure out how you make it addictive, but I don't know.
You mean the app itself?
Yeah. Why? I mean, it doesn't feel like you're going to get a lot of loyalty. The Duper approach of creating a ranking system of sorts, they're gamifying, so in a sense, right? I don't know if you can do something similar, but that's going to be derivative if you try it, right?
The way that we plan to engage the audience is through challenges and achievements, something to keep users kept logging in and competing with their friends in terms of, getting certain achievements. This is one of the things in roadmap that we plan to implement to keep the users busy and, active on the app.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. It feels like go ahead.
So Pickle, is it the logo with the green ball?
Yeah.
Is that your iPad icon?
Yeah, we just released the app like last week for this one.
Yeah. So what's your thinking around allowing people to utilize it as a guest?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, the user interface is pretty clean. I don't like the hamburger menu in the left because we graduated from that, but that's an easy change. But I do like the user interface. It's pretty clean. But what's your thinking around allowing people to get inside as a guest? How are you capturing data from those people?
So that's just for kind of people to check out, because sometimes people are on the go, they don't want to register, but they want to get like a quick peek at it. And once they do, and what you just said, they see a clean interface, they have no problem getting to home or somewhere and just registering. It takes like 2 minutes at the most.
Yeah, I get that. It's a very tricky strategy as far as onboarding, because the other thought could be, hey, I've seen the app, it's here. Why put in extra effort to sign up? I'm just going to swipe out of the damn thing so I can get over to TikTok. Perhaps there are some way when someone first get the app, you can show them maybe 30 seconds give them 30 seconds of access before you even give them a call to action button. And then after, you just say, hey, you want to see more, sign up now. And then you can capture the data from that phone so that they don't get that intro ever again. They only get that intro one time. In addition to that, I agree with Bill, because you have to have some type of hook for this thing to work, which is probably for you, because I see here La Cienega in LA, I can see a court, which is probably for you partnering with people that actually play the sport. And at the point of the offline experience, there can be some form of a trigger inside of the app, which would be opposite of how you have a structure now, because you would want people to exercise that FOMO to have to work hard to get inside of the app. Okay, you can unlock this version of the app with X amount of hours played on the court. You can go to this particular court and we have some rewards at that particular location, but you have to go to this particular, and you have a map in here, you have to go to this particular court. So it's going to be a lot of things that you have to do to really make people think of this as a lifestyle experience, which will lead to the actual growth of the app. I'm interested in talking to you. I don't know where I stand as far as investing, but I am interested in talking to you.
All right, 2 sharks are in. Great. So 3 left.
Hey, so when you say in, I'm in on conversation.
No.
During that conversation,
Conversation. It's okay. I would love to hear your feedback.
No. But you still have the potential to receive an investment. I just want to start with conversation because I just need to take a deeper dive on understanding your strategy. But I am interested.
Okay, sounds good.
What can I give you? Okay. Angelica, Reese, Bill.
I like the idea. Anything that gets people moving, I love. Unfortunately, I do not see a really strong competitive advantage. So do stay in touch. Let me know how things go. I can definitely, I would be happy to have a conversation about how to develop that on the side of Europe, because that is where I have most of my connections at this point.
Okay,
fantastic.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're moving to the next one. Great pitch, and thank you so much. Please stay to the end till the end of the event. And the next person is, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing correctly, Giuseppe Galimberti. Are you here? Can you speak?
Yeah.
Giuseppe?
Yeah, Giuseppe Galimberti. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm here. Sorry, I just stopped because I was driving, so now I can stop. Okay.
You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
All right. Hi, everybody from Italy. My name is Giuseppe Galimberti. I'm CEO of Nanotech. I guess that most of you are fancy about fast car like we are. And so you might understand that we were very thrilled when 2 years ago, one of the major Formula One team came to us and started to use our materials. Now, 2 years later, 8 teams out of 10 of Formula One use our material. Why? Of course, because we develop and produce advanced composite material for automotive and aerospace. Problem number one, especially in aerospace, is that they need urgently more advanced materials. And material needs to be lighter because they have to consume less. They need to withstand high temperature. They need to be more recyclable and in some cases even less toxic. So our materials, at least some of them patented, basically do that. Actually, they are 5.2 times lighter than steel, can withstand the highest temperature in the market in terms of temperature, so they can be used in any application in aerospace, and as a matter of fact, they are used also in Formula One. But of course, most importantly, they are more recyclable, and compared to some like the phenolic, they are not toxic at all. So that's the main drive behind our technology, which is patented. Problem number two is the fact that to get these material to the market, the time to market is quite long. So we have introduced artificial intelligence, machine learning, so on and so forth in our experimental workflow, meaning that our R&D uses an hybrid approach, less human-centric, more data-centric, in order to expedite the entire workflow. So meaning that we can come up with better material as fast as we can. We are in a scale-up mode at this stage. Of course, we have traction. We built our production plant last year. Last year was our first year of production, despite all the constraint for supply chain. We managed to have a turnover almost 1 million, and we are, of course, scaling up on many customers. We do this, of course, we need more money in order to reach some milestones, such as optimization of our machinery, get certifications, increase all the application in our R&D.
Time.
Yep.
Please wrap it up.
Yeah, so we are currently looking for a Series A of 4 million with a cross-functional team, which, by the way, is composed 50% by women. Thank you. Sorry if I went through the time.
No problem.
Okay.
Giuseppe, I have a question. How much capital's gone into the company already?
From investor, 5.1 million, plus we got 1 million something from grants.
And do you have a feel for when this company will no longer need outside capital? I have some experience in material investing, is why I'm asking this question. It can go a long ways of needing to raise a lot of capital.
It's correct. We plan. We have a break-even point, meaning EBITDA zero by the end of this year, beginning of next year, with a turnover of 2 million, depending, of course, the mix of product. And suppose that we keep the same mix with high-margin product, with at least 50% of our production. So it should be break-even in 2024. The only additional money at that point would be maybe on some acquisition and for sure global expansion.
Thank you.
So Giuseppe, I'm in already, even though I've got about 1 million questions. So Daniel, I'm in.
All right.
Yeah.
We are heavily into, automotive material science, aerospace. So we are looking at other composite material companies. And so I've got, a long list of questions here in terms of sort of where the best applications are for this in terms of different aspects of both structural, non-structural, applications for this. So But I'm, very interested in, the strength question and the manufacturability and the forming question associated with, shaping and, using this material for manufacturing. But we'll have a bunch of questions in that domain. I'm guessing you're somewhere in Emilia-Romagna, or where are you?
Actually, I'm south of Emilia-Romagna, which is the Motor Valley. We are in what is called the Carbon Valley, surprisingly enough, which means that there's a lot of company using and manufacturing composite material for automotive, of course, the luxury car that I was mentioning before, and also the aerospace.
Okay. So roughly in that. So I'll be in your neck of the woods in mid-June, actually.
That would be great. We'll host you for sure.
Yeah, so that could be, but absolutely, I'd love to see your deck and find out more.
Yeah, congratulations. One shark is in, and what about the rest of the sharks? Are you guys in or out?
Yeah, so Giuseppe, a great presentation. Bill, if you're providing some form of allocation, if you get to your yes and actually invest, I'll definitely be one of the limited partners on that round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
It sounds like
just out of geographical proximity and the fact that you are 50% women, non-toxic, more recyclable, patented.
Yeah.
They need to speak with you. So Daniel,
all right,
connected with
currently I'm in Milan, so very close to Lugano.
We are about an hour away. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yes.
Okay, you can meet in person. All right, fantastic. What about Zamir and Reese?
I think you did a great job. Very cool technology, but not strategic to our company. So I would be out.
All right, thank you.
Not a B2B SaaS, so we're passing this one. But great pitch. Thank you.
Great pitch.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Stay in touch. Stay till the end of the event. Drive safe, and we're moving to the next.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Look forward to connecting.
We will connect you guys, of course. Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
The next person would be Dmitro Muzichko. Dmitro, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
You got 2 minutes. Please go for it.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dmitro. I was a CEO of residential construction company for 4 years. In 4 years, I built company from 0 to 12 million. I know residential construction and know it pretty well. It's retail. What my projects are, they have 2 parts. One part is sales process, second part organization. So first part is AI and AR project. What it does, you take a phone, you put it on the house, you are able to create 3D models of the house instantly with AI. From that point, you are able to change siding, roof, windows on the house, pick the price, buy through the phone. Very easy, target audience homeowners, target audience contractors, because they need it for their in-home sales pitches. It's necessary. Second part of the company is organization processes. So what we do, it's labor and materials. Always construction consists of labor and materials, and companies going out of business because of lack of control of labor and materials. Our second part is labor. We have a database of subcontractors of more than 10,000 of them already. It's pretty big, believe me. We have more than 300 interested companies in our Pro Improver part of the project, and we have already more than 20 subscribers. We started sales 2 months ago. We are right now had 2 months of activities and very big exposure. What these systems will do, they will organize construction industry. They will make it much more efficient and good. Much less companies will go out of business. And from other side, we will be able to achieve pretty good progress with ProLook, with ability to deliver instant measurements and instant understanding for homeowners what will they get for this price. These projects will allow to change industry and optimize it. All monetization, Pro Improver subscription-based and ad platform to contractors, for contractors, and ProLook is percentage of sales, as well as subscription-based models for homeowners with updates, design updates. There's 2 systems. One is pre-seed stage, second in seed stage. One is selling, second alpha version.
Thank you. Pass time, please wrap it up. Okay, thank you.
That's all.
All right, dear Sharks, your questions.
What geographies are you currently operating in?
I am located in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, next to Philadelphia, but companies are registered in Delaware. I am in US for 11 years, and company was built in Southampton, PA, the most competitive remodeling niche in the country, area in the country.
Gotcha.
Any other questions to this founder?
I was just wondering, Dmitry, you're looking, of course, for smart money. What do you need the money for to increase? You said you have the two areas, the material and the labor. It's not quite clear to me how you would improve your business model with this round.
First, about Pro Improver part. We need to invest more money in marketing, and we need contractors to know who we are. We need to create emotional association with us as database of subcontractors and us as organization of their working process. We do have competitors, but they do not offer exactly what we offer. That's why even big companies, 120 million companies, 20 million companies interested in our services and want to work with us. Also, we need money for integrations with other CRM systems to become one of their assets and get subscribers from them. We need to expand. We need to optimize UX. We need to create video ads. We need to be awesome in marketing. Marketing drives sales. Product is awesome. I already know this. I was in International Roofing Expo last month in Dallas, Texas. Exposure is pretty good. People are shocked. This product is good. Everyone thinks about this. I made it.
Okay, thank you.
And also, first part of the project, it's in alpha version, so we will get to retail when we'll be open for public, just closer to the end of the year.
Dmitry, please keep your answers shorter so others will be having some more time to pitch. Are there more questions, or are we moving on? Okay. So
just one more question. Just you're using just a standard smartphone, Apple, Android?
It's algorithm. It's algorithm. Yes, standard smartphone, any camera. We will implement, of course, LiDAR, but it's not necessary. It's algorithm. What?
In a follow-up discussion.
All right, great. So one connections with one shark. I will connect you guys after the event tomorrow. Thank you so much. We're moving on. And the next startup would be Santh Satya. Santh, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you got 2 minutes, please. You may.
Great pleasure meeting you all. I represent Luftcar. I'm the founder CEO of Luftcar. Now, there are many electric vertical takeoff landing vehicles out there, which is in this growing industry called advanced air mobility. But a lot of them focus in the air taxi market category, which is within the cities, and they are powered by battery propulsion. In Luftcar, we are building a hydrogen fuel cell propelled air and road vehicle. So what we are doing is basically building a drone which would carry a road vehicle. So we have a docking mechanism that can lift up the road vehicles, and they can land in a place up to 300 to 500 miles range. So you can go from San Jose to Lake Tahoe and land there, and the road vehicle can detach and drive around. So we are now developing the hydrogen fuel cell propulsion along with the airframe, which is very similar to what Tesla would do, building a battery vehicle for their road vehicle, a battery for the road vehicle. We have been endorsed by Department of Energy. We are part of a major hydrogen hub project because we are also developing the ecosystem of hydrogen refueling into these vehicles. Our airframe design has been endorsed by Department of Energy again, and we are in conversations with NASA about collaborating on some key technologies. We have so far raised $1 million, and we are trying to raise up to $3 million to develop our first prototype. So we consider ourselves to be in seed stage, and we are looking to, we are working closely with the Federal Aviation Authority because FAA wants to prove our vehicle, which has got implications in the defense category, in the defense section, people's transportation, last mile door-to-door delivery, air ambulances, and frontline medication. I'll stop here. Our ask is that we are trying to raise up to 3 million with the ticket sizes of up to with the minimum ticket size of up to $250,000. Thank you so much.
Sounds like a flying car. Well done. Dear Sharks, your questions.
Yeah, wow. I mean, so God bless. I mean, we have actually already invested in 2 eVTOL companies in sort of different spaces, different geographies, different application areas. We've looked at a lot of different designs and architectures. and have looked at sort of the idea of connecting two different entities to optimize your transportation. I guess I have not seen I've not seen this model before. You're going to pick up my car. You're going to pick up my car in my driveway and put it down in Tahoe. Is that what you're really saying?
Yes, that's exactly what you're saying. But more than your car, imagine a FedEx truck or a UPS truck or an air ambulance that you can lift from place to place.
Well, but I don't, yeah, almost. I mean, but there's almost, at the other end, there's almost certainly a vehicle. I mean, FedEx has vehicles everywhere, except for maybe some corner of Alaska, right? So, but do I really want a FedEx vehicle in the corner of Alaska? But I get the military, absolutely, positively, totally. I get why the military will love this, right? So, I mean, I got to believe that that's your pathway to the future, right? But that's the most obvious application. But boy, nothing they have is light. I mean, you got to have one hell of a lot of power. I get why you need fuel and you can't use batteries, right?
Yes.
But boy, you got to have a big hunkin', machine to pick up a truck, right?
Well, we are limiting the size. We are limiting up to 4,500 pounds of vehicle. And we've been in conversation.
What? What did you say? How much?
The road vehicle will be 4,500 pounds maximum. The overall vehicle will be 10,000 pounds GVW maximum. That's our design weight. Right. We are in conversation with UPS, to your question, and we have done trade-off studies with UPS for this fast delivery and converting their road cargo market into this air cargo market. So this is a new will be created, and UPS seeing a lot of value primarily because of the hydrogen propulsion, because hydrogen reduces the cost per mile that the companies would spend. In fact, UPS wants to be the witnessing our first flight, which will be like doing in a place in New England pretty soon.
Yeah. No, God bless you. I mean, UPS is, I think, doing 5, 6, 7, 8 of these kind of future air mobility technologies to see which one makes the most sense.
Right.
And God bless that they're trying yours. I don't understand why they're saying we don't have a truck at the other end, though. That doesn't that's the weirdness to me.
Well, it's saying, disadvantaged communities, particularly, we are going to test it from Cincinnati Airport, and there are a lot of disadvantaged communities in the Appalachian and further west of Cincinnati where you don't have warehouses, or you spend a lot of money in warehouses and maintaining a fleet down there. So this is where UPS is saying, hey, no, I can take my truck out there at low cost and deliver door to door.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
For benefit, for everybody's benefit, we are going to carry, if you look at my video, we are going to carry the vehicle like this, like how a bird carries a prey, a top hold and a bottom hold. This is different from what Airbus has tried before, where they lifted it from the top. This is what we're doing is very similar to how a pitcher pitches a baseball. So it helps a live cargo slide and slide out. That's our IP. So we have patented around it. And the Air Force is also keenly looking at what we do along with the Navy.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. I mean, this is a long slog for you, right? And you're still right at the beginning, but God bless. Right.
We are going to commercialize by 2026 along with the FAA certification, and we are going step by step. Logically, we are all coming from big industries where we have launched complicated products. By 2020, by end of this year, we will have a 2-seater vehicle that we plan to demonstrate.
Okay. And I'm assuming, FAA approval depends a lot on whether there's a person inside, right? So is the driver going with the truck, or is it you find the driver at the other end?
Well, the driver, we will have a piloted version first, and then we'll have an autonomous vehicle second. And then in the autonomous vehicle, there won't be any pilot, or there could be passengers. But yeah, so we'll have both versions, and we are working with the FAA on certifying both.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Very cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is there anybody else having questions? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for a great presentation. Good luck with your awesome project, and we're moving to the next startup. We have 9 left, and unlikely we will accommodate everyone. So the next would be 1 second. That would be Connor Ellison or Poger. Connor, are you ready?
Yeah.
You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Awesome. So I want to start out with a question. Billions of video game matches are played every day. What is happening with that data? At Pogger, we built the ultimate gamer profile. Essentially, it's a single profile that follows a gamer's journey and aggregates all data from their online experience. To achieve this, and why no one else has yet, we built an SDK that allows us to collect data from game engines efficiently, effectively, and for very, very high margins. This allows us to kind of bring indie game developers and not just the AAA titles who are building this internal ecosystem themselves. We come out of stealth in May. We currently raised 2.25 million at 20 in July from one investor, Venture Rock. We are actively working with our first discovery client, Last of Humanity. 19 more games in our pipeline that will be onboarded in June. We have 2 advisors signing on. One is an original member of FaZe Clan. The other one is an NFL quarterback that's now turning professional gamer. We're negotiating an LOI right now, should know by June as well, from an enterprise client at the rate of $100,000 to $300,000 a month with a 2 to 5 year commitment. This is what we're finalizing. And we're here because we're raising $5 million for our Series A in September. We have 3.5 million commitments, including a follow-on investment from our seed investors. And I'm happy to answer any other questions.
All right, well done. So are there any questions from the Sharks?
Yeah, I need to connect with you. I need to find out more. One of our corporate limited partners is Sega. Another one of our corporate limited partners is Asus. Both are different angles of gaming. I'm almost there in terms of getting your value prop. I mean, certainly they want good data on everybody. So it makes sense.
I'm going to break that down, kind of the ins and outs. Once you start to see these enterprise kind of silos that we're building with these SaaS features, once we have our data moat, that's kind of the main thing. It's the flywheel between onboarding developers and having gamers contribute more data by kind of making the walls low resistance. This provides a huge moat for our enterprise clients we're talking to.
Okay, yeah. So I need to connect with you, Connor. Let's
one Shark is in.
So Connor, I'm going to stretch my guessing here. You are in Los Angeles, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Hollywood right now.
There we go. So my firm is headquartered in Los Angeles. We have
Beverly Hills.
Particular game. That's good. So I would love to meet with you in person, my wife and I, so that we can dive a bit deep. We're getting ready to launch a game fund in the next 2 months. So we haven't invested in gaming yet. So I'm definitely interested. So let's find some time to meet in person.
2 Sharks are in, 3 left. Great. What about the rest of the Sharks?
Not a fit for me, but sounds like a interesting, platform.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reese, Zamir, and Angelica.
Yeah, same here. Gaming is not our vertical, but good luck.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. And Angelica?
Same here. Really, really cool, really interesting, cool sector. I have never played a game in my life, so I am absolutely unqualified to be even speaking with you, but good luck.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Great presentation. We're moving on. And
perfect. We'll go through. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Yeah,
cheers.
we will connect you. Please stay to the end of the event, and we're moving to the final startup, probably final startup for today. Alex Karbankov. Alex, you ready?
Yes.
You got 2 minutes. Let's go for it.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak again. I spoke, I think, a month ago. Many things changed. Previously was added quite 1 hour ahead, and here is a TV show. So, to be brief, we're doing a gamified running up in 3 words or fitness Pokemon in 2 words. So before I start, let me begin with a big wave coming. The big wave here is that millennials are getting older. The first of them get to the 40 years previous year, and they have a huge inclination on gaming and a huge adoption of smartphones, over than 93%. Simultaneously to that, we have quadrupled digital healthcare market and tripled mobile gaming market during COVID. So this is a huge wave, and here is no solution to provide them like good solution in health tech. But we can see that here is Duolingo as a good example from EdTech. Second thing, my own story. I've got one kind of incurable disease when I was 20. I overcame it, and I started to think, what can I do to help others never face something I face? So I'm super committed to do things that can help people. So what problem are we trying to solve? We're starting from running market, because running is the biggest vertical inside health tech, and we're trying to disrupt the retention there. So we embed gamification. We're trying to solve the problem that novice runners find running boring, exhausting, repetitive, and not rewarding. We're embedding gamification, providing endorphin, story, quests, achievements, etc., to make them feel supported and maintain them to their goal. So we will further go into deep tech. I can talk about it later. Our competition comes from classic running apps like Strava and fitness-based games like Zombies Run, but first are kind of boring, and second ones are super inclined in gaming, and they do not provide enough analytics. So we're trying to get and provide best from both worlds. Again, we're trying to become Duolingo in health tech, and here is no Duolingo yet. So this market, yes, okay. So here is a 20 billion market, and it's a TAM, and fitness plus gamification is 3 billion. We will achieve 100 ARR in 7 years and 300 ARR in 10 years via subscription plus in-app purchases as visual skins, etc. We have now traction as 2,200 clients. Angel round closed for 100K. We got product of the day on Product Hunt, and we got into Fulcrum Venture Accelerator in Colorado.
Right.
So we will offer 650K as safe with the potential 175x for investors of this round. And we are looking for advice at the first.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just past time twice.
This time I'm prepared. Duran.
Okay, dear investors, do you have any questions?
I mean, 175x. I mean, who could pass this up?
Ready to provide details. We never mentioned that I'm from fintech, and we know how to calculate fin models. We have super profound and comprehensive fin model. We wasted several months on it. So,
listen, I have to be honest. It was hard because it was going in and out for me to really hear your pitch. But any founder that have that type of aggression and confidence, I'm definitely interested in having a conversation with you, and perhaps during that conversation, I can really understand and learn a bit more about your business. I was just losing connection in and out with your pitch, but I'm definitely interested in talking to you again. I never pass the opportunity to talk to a very confident founder, I got to tell you.
It sounds great. I also had a little bit of trouble understanding, but it sounds like it's an app that encourages running and gamifies it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it just a thought. I mean, I know that you mentioned a couple of competitors in the direct running space, but there's a lot of, digital apps out there in the healthcare space that are trying to gamify, healthy habits and whatnot. And I think, they're probably your competitors too. So that's something to keep an eye on.
And we will nail it, and beat them up. So here is no Duolingo yet in fitness and health tech, and we will be.
Thank you so much. Are there more questions from the Sharks? Do we take one final project, or are we closing the session? Are you up for that one more project?
One more. Let's do it.
One more. Let's go for it. Okay. Well, let's take Brian Glover. Brian, you ready? Hello, Brian.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You got 2 minutes. Please go for it.
Hey, how's everyone doing? My name is Brian Glover. I'm the founder of Preview. Now, we are revolutionizing how people find jobs. Now, before I tell you guys more about Preview, I want you guys just to imagine something with me right now. I want you to imagine if YouTube, Indeed, and Match.com got together, had a party, that party was an orgy, and they were to produce a baby. That baby would be Preview. Now, our platform is set to actually connect job seekers with employers on a matchmaking basis, but at the same time, give job seekers the ability to have Preview into their role. At the same time, employers then have, the ability to match up with the job seeker at that point that matches preference, skill type, as well as experience. And then at that point, the job seeker has the ability to provide a 30-second video that sends back to that employer that they matched with. And at that point, they can further on the conversation from there. So right now at this stage, we are gearing up for our MVP launch, which is set for May 10th. At this exact moment, we have, I know personally, I've spoken with about 800 business owners as well as job seekers, just to see whether this is something that is going to stick. With that being said, from what my conversations I have had, I have signed up about 200 individuals as far as businesses for the wait list. And at this moment, we are looking to raise $500K for our pre-seed round. With that being said, hopefully the main reason I'm not really looking for an investor for checkbook, but more so for advice as well as guidance on where we can go with this. So that's pretty much my 2 minutes, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Thank you very much. And dear Sharks, your questions.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, I want you to consider changing that, Brian. I definitely want to talk to you, provide some mentorship for you as well. So reach out to me today, and I'll find a time next week to have some conversations with you. So make sure you do that. I already connected with you on LinkedIn. Never say you're not looking for capital and you're looking for advice. People advice is worth that much if they're not writing you a check. Right? Seriously, that much if they're not writing you a check. So and that varies because some people come with really sound advice and they can place you in really great positions, but you could spend a lot of time searching for fucking mentors. You're a human just like them. They have a right and a left hemisphere just like you. You have an opportunity on this earth just like anyone else. So make sure you put your best foot forward when you're talking to investors. The other thing is, have you really gauged your value proposition and the ecosystem regarding services like Indeed? I heard that you mentioned that. And,
yes,
and where do you think you sit? Where do you think you sit? I see AI in your title. I don't want you to talk about that because it just freaks me out. People talking about artificial narrow intelligence. But where do you think you sit inside of that ecosystem with those other platforms?
We actually separate ourselves because the one thing that actually provides, that difference is the video component. Giving so many job seekers, we've all probably in the course of our lifetime had a job that, we read a job post and it was very vague. We got to that job and it was nothing like we expected. So what we actually do, we give job seekers the ability to actually see what that role is before even applying, which at the same time cuts down on HR, talent acquisition managers having to weed through applications, the whole nine, with finding quality talent that want to actually be there.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to provide you some mentorship. That's not your value proposition. You don't want to lead with video. They have a lot of mechanisms that's fine with doing that. I mean, Glassdoor, I think it's greenhouse.io. You have a Glassdoor platform. It's a lot of other platforms. The way I see it, if something already exists where it's just sufficient enough for a company to utilize it, why would they go through all of the extra work to adopt your platform? Your name positions you to where you can really pivot a little because it's called Preview. So that's a very broad name. Good job on that. But that's definitely not your value proposition. So I'm going to provide that mentorship for you. I don't know how many hours that's going to represent. Just reach out to me today and we'll work on this whole pitch and the value proposition and exactly what you can offer to the marketplace.
We will connect you guys. Absolutely. Yeah. After the event. Yeah. Today or tomorrow we will connect you. Okay. Thank you so much. Are there more questions?
So I would just encourage you to look for other competitors because back in 2016, we had a startup with the same exact idea and they did go live. They did show some traction, but they never grew too big on the Eastern European market. So at some point, it just became norm, like the very first step of the HR process would be done with a video interview and the HR manager would just watch the short video and see if it's a fit. They would call for a real interview. So that business model existed for a while. Just go, check out the competition out there, see what happened, why they succeeded, why they didn't succeed, what worked and what did not.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. I guess we are done with the pitches today, and we are starting the final part is closing, where the Sharks will give you final advice and words of wisdom for this 15th event. So before we do this, RSVP people for the next event. Next week we'll have Women Sharks. That will be 5 or even 6 women from around the world, the investors. That will be, you will be pitching to them, and first priority will be ladies founders. But also for the rest of the time, if there would be not enough projects from ladies, I hope that will be a lot. you guys will have a chance to pitch as well. Now, the week after this, there will be standard GGW Sharks, and so RSVP for both. And of course, if you want to support us, please shout out on social media. It's important to support. And you've just received an email with feedback, so please provide us feedback. It's important. We always try to make this event very efficient for everyone. Now, dear Sharks, dear investors, this is your closing statements, and please share your thoughts from what you have on your minds, and that's how we will close this session today. Okay, so
well,
who wants to go first? Okay, Angelica, would you go first?
Thank you. It is nice to be the only lady on the panel, so thank you guys for that. So first of all, Daniel, thank you. Thank you to all the people who presented. I have to say, well done on constantly improving your pitching skills, and constantly trying to get the message to us so that we can connect. Please know that all the advice we give is with a good heart, is to make you become better, is not to demotivate you in any way. I never say no to anybody who needs a little bit of help and mentoring. However, like Duránd said, it's always important to qualify your advice and make sure that the people who are giving you advice are the right people. So it is a pleasure and a privilege to be with all of my fellow Sharks. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you to all the participants. Looking forward to our next section.
And we're always excited to have you, Angelica, with us. Thank you for your advice and mentorship to startups. That's amazing. Reese, would you like to go next?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me today. This was my first session, so it was a bit of a learning experience for me as well. But I think what my advice would be, you heard some really good advice from the investors up here, the Sharks. Take it, build it into your next pitch. And when 2 minutes or 3 minutes even is just a very short time to tell a story. So you've got to make sure that you cut out all the excess and really get to the key points of the problem you're solving, your value proposition, and why you're the best. I mean, you really got to make sure you fine tune those messages. But good job overall, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, Reese, and great to have you with us as well. And we are happy to see you on other events too. Dear Bill, your turn, please.
Yeah. So I'm going to be a little controversial here. One of my sort of key points when I'm trying to coach entrepreneurs on short pitches is do not start with the problem. Every pitch coach tells entrepreneurs start with the problem. And so we get a minute and a half on the construction industry, or a minute and a half on cancer, or a minute and a half on whatever. And then we get, 30 seconds on your company. So if you just tell us what your solution is clearly enough and your value proposition, I guarantee you we know the problem you're solving. So just please cut to the chase. I think that's one of Daniel's points. Cut to the chase. Tell us what your solution is and the value proposition, and almost certainly we know the problem you're solving, and you're resonating with an investor rather than describing your product.
Thank you so much. And I would add that Bill just shared with you a book here. Just take a look at this and check out their events, this startup cap, and definitely we will shout out on social media. You will share with us some information. Duránd, your turn.
So before I get feedback, one, I second what Bill had just communicated. We're hosting our inaugural Yummylicious Week LA from July 17th until July 23rd. It's 7 days of what we're calling tastefulness. We're giving away $500,000 in prizes to entrepreneurs. So definitely reach out to me, entrepreneurs, if you're interested in pitching at our event, because it's over $500,000 worth of prizes available. Now, if you're not going to get interest here from investors, don't count yourself out, because Steph Curry, he was the 7th pick in the draft, and look what he's been able to accomplish in the NBA. Sometimes that extra conversation is needed for investors to ensure that the investment actually meets the investor's profile. I'm always excited to talk to entrepreneurs, but I do want you all to definitely work on your stories and your presentations. Don't be the Uber of anything. If you're going to anchor your story to Uber, utilize that in a way to explain how you fit inside of the ecosystem. So you say, okay, Uber did this, Lyft did this, this is what we see what was missing, and this is what we provide. We haven't got to revenue yet, but here's our pathway to get there, and here's the evidence how we're going to actually succeed in doing so. It can be really simple to get us actually understanding, and then that second layer of conversation, you can dive a bit deeper, because also remember, we're not looking at any images here. But overall, I'm glad you guys can do the crazy TAM stuff today, and I'm sure Bill is excited about that, the total addressable market thing. But overall, a great job, and thanks to GGW Sharks and Daniil and the rest of the panelists.
Thank you, Duránd. It was great to have you again with us, and definitely check out their event. And Zamir, again, you're closing today's session as last time. So what would be your final statement? Please turn on.
Yeah, you're giving me the toughest job, speaking after respected experts in the field. So my short comment would be, when you come on and you try to do something new, especially if you're on an MVP stage, please do a deeper investigation in your competitive landscape. Go beyond the first page of Google, go beyond your geographical location, because I'm pretty sure there's other 10 people, maybe even 100 people working on the same thing that you do, and maybe even past that stage and show some traction. So when you know your competitive landscape, you can even reach out to those founders and talk to them and see what really worked and not. You don't have to do all the mistakes by yourself. You can learn from other people's mistakes, and actually that will speed up the process for your product development, and you will better your value proposition. And you can even find like pitch presentations of these other projects out there, uploaded to some cloud websites, and you can learn from what they did right and wrong, and again increase your chances of success and spend less time and resources doing so. We're not giving out $500,000 in prizes, but we're happy to invest in B2B SaaS companies. So if you're reaching some kind of traction in US market and you have early revenues, reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to talk to you. And thank you to Daniel and GGW team for setting this up. It was great. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Daniel, can I just say, I forgot to mention, so my wife will be, if you guys thought I was a scary guy, my wife is much scarier than I. So she'll be one of the women that's on the panel next week. So I'm definitely going to be here in support of her. So trust me, guys, I'm very nice. So just watch out for Maya Davis. I'm giving you all a hint.
If I ever said that about my wife, I'll be sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Zamir, Duránd, Bill, Reese, and Angelica. Great event, dear startup founders. You nailed it. That was amazing 15th event, and we keep killing it. It's just so amazing to have you all. I'm really grateful for this amazing vibe we are creating together. Please share everything that we do together on social media, support us, and of course check out Bill's event, Duránd's event, and also Zamir has their also events happening as soft landing program. So definitely support each other. It's so important. We are one network, and we are grateful that things are happening here. So one last thing, we are launching on Product Hunt today. We will shout out to everyone. Please support us, upvote. It's not just the thing, but just comment and share your love. That would be so important. Thank you, and have the rest of the day. RSVP to the next event, and of course subscribe to our platform. We'll see you next week on Women's Sharks. Take care, guys.